welcome back to another Holistic 3D tutorial on Beginner's Unity. What we're going to do in this one is actually get some user input and use it to move or, change the properties of an object. And in this case, we're changing the properties related to position. So we're actually going to move a cube around. Okay, so let's just stop playing from the previous one. Back in my scripts folder, I have a prefab spawn script that I created. Now we're starting to sort of hack that to pieces. Let's create a new one because we want something a little bit cleaner. Now right click, create, and we want a behavior script. I'm going to call it drive. Okay, so let's just call it drive.cs. Now we're going to double click to open that up. Right, so here's the basic drive script. Now, where are we going to get this script from? Well, one of the great places to get scripts so that you can play around with them is actually from that API reference that we talked about previously. So let's bring that back in. Now, we want to move the position of the object. And if you go into the API's section for transform.position, you'll see this nice little bit of code here. Now, this code here actually gets two input values, a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. Now, in old game speak, this is kind of like the A and the D keys, or the side arrows, and then this here is like the W and the S keys, or the up arrows. Where this gets mapped to, I'll show you a little bit later. But from those values, we're then using them to modify the position of whatever object it is. And you can see in this particular case, it's taking the existing position and then adding to that the value of the horizontal input multiplied by a few other values, etc., which we'll talk about a little later, and then the vertical input as well. So this object, even though it's in 3D space, is just going to move left and right and up and down, or along the x-axis and up and down on its y-axis. So what we do here is we copy this code. So I can just copy it like that. I'm going to go back into VS Code and we're going to paste it into here. Now hopefully if I just select everything and paste, we will get everything we need, which looks like we have. Okay, now remember we called this drive.cs. So over here we're going to call this drive for the class name that we're putting in there, and then everything else should just work. Famous last words, I know. So save that, and then let's just go back into Unity. Okay, so we're going to go into the hierarchy, and I'm going to get rid of this spawn bot. Actually, I'll just turn it off. We don't need it. We need something we can drive around. So I'm just going to drag another copy of my cube into here. And then to that cube, we want to attach that script we just wrote. So we'll go into the scripts, find that drive script, and drag and drop it over onto the cube, if it'll let me. Let's do it up here. Okay, so there it is, just down there. Now you'll see you get this little plus sign coming up. Now the reason that is because the cube was a prefab, and now we've actually added something new to this cube which isn't part of that prefab, and that's all right. We don't want to override it so that all red cubes have a drive script on them. This is fine. Let's now press play. And we have another little error, which is because Unity has two input systems. It has the old input system and the new input system. And the code that we've just picked up from the API is using the old system. But never fear, we can fix that. So in Unity, we're going to go and find our player preferences. So edit, project settings, and then in this window that comes up, you want to find the player tab that's just there. And then in this part, let's scroll down, and I've actually typed in active into the search so you can find it. And down the bottom here, you've got active input handling, and you can set that to the new input package, which it is by default, but we can actually set it to both, so it will use both. Now at this point you're going to get this window here that I just got, very annoying, saying that it wants to restart everything. but that's okay. That's just something we have to do. So make sure you got everything saved, and then you can restart it to reapply that. And at this point, we're now getting a message saying the Input Manager is a legacy feature and not recommended for new projects. Well, no, but we're using it because I want to show you how to get some input into here, and setting up the actual new input system takes a little bit more effort. Right, so we now have our drive script from before. We press play, and let's see if we can move our cube around. So this is me hitting the left and right arrow keys, and then my up and down arrow keys. Now there's really nothing wrong with using the old input system, except just be aware that in the future that Unity might actually get rid of it. So if you update your version of Unity, then it might not be supported. But as long as you keep using like this version or an older version of Unity, you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so you can see there how the input axis actually allows you to take values, and if we select the cube in the hierarchy, the position values that you see just up here, let's click back in that window there and then move. You can see how the X, Y values are modified. The Z is not being modified because in the code, let's just open that back up again, where this code updates things, it's the position plus the horizontal movement, which is added to the X value, and then the vertical input is added to the Y, and there's no Z. Now in this case, the Z would be sort of back and forward into the screen. So if you wanted to use this horizontal movement to move back and forward into the screen, let's just copy that. We will put it into here for the Z value, but then just put a 0 back into here. I mean, you could leave it the same just to play around to see what you get. Save it, and let's just switch back into Unity. Now this is going to have to recompile, so we're going to have to stop playing while it does that. Okay, then we press play. Now I'm using the left and the right arrow keys, and the cube's actually moving in the Z axis, which is in and out. Now you can see this even more clearly if we take the game window and put it down here, and we click on the cube, so you can see the axis system over in the scene view, but click back in the game window. Now this is the up and down, so you can see that it's moving along that green Y, and then if we use the side arrow keys, we're moving along the Z, or the cube's blue axis, whereas before it would have been moving along this red axis. Right, so that's how to get some really quick input into your game environment. And of course, if you wanted to actually drive this cube around on the ground, let me quickly show you that. Let's go back to the drive script. So up and down when you're in a racing game kind of move you forward and backwards, don't they? So that means that we want the vertical values, instead of going up and down the screen, let's just copy those. We're going to put them into the, actually we want to put those into the Z, don't we? So I'm going to move the horizontal back to my, copy that back to my X value, and then the vertical values, let's copy those and we'll put them back into the Z value. And then when it comes to up and down movements, we want nothing, you just want 0 in there. Okay, so we've got horizontal movement in the X, vertical movement in the Z. Right, let's save that and go back into Unity, and we'll now press play again, and this will give you actually the kind of drive script that you would have if you were driving something around on a flat surface. And you can see that I'm now manipulating that just with my arrow keys, and it's staying there. So if it's like a racing car or something, you might use this sort of a system. Of course, you'd usually have the camera attached to it so you could see where you're actually driving, and we might come back and have a look at that in the next video.